I've heard good things about this. Warning, this video talks about and shows imagery of graphic continent. Immersion ruined. I can't watch this, boys. I'm sorry. I can't watch this. Gore, flashing lights, violence, death. Viewer discretion is advised. Classified material. Federal law provides severe civil and criminal penalties for the unauthorized viewing of this footage. Any reproduction, distribution, or display of this video is prohibited. The possession of this footage may lead to investigation and detention. If released from custody, the apprehended will face a penalty of $500,000. Bro, just disappear them at that point. You don't need to be charging them half a mil. That's like rent in London. What is that? Nah, just kill him. Just kill him at that point.
Show us the coolest thing you own.
What's the coolest thing I own? The coolest thing I own. Okay, so this is pretty cool. This is like it's like one of those bears, but it's Evangelion. It's even got the arm as well. I think that looks kind of cool. I like that. Look at that. I personally think that's really cool. That's dope. And then I've got this as well. I got this fat robot here. You can't move the arms. You can move the hands. It's pretty cool. I don't even know where it's from. I just saw a fat robot and I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy that now. You want to know the coolest thing I own though? The Nintendo Switch. No, I'm joking. Piece of shit. I literally bought that. I bought that once and then I never touched it again. Actual dog shit 15 FPS console. You pay monthly for that, by the way. Anyways, boys, anyways.
On planet Earth, life has thrived for millions of years. Creatures big and small have found ways to adapt and evolve to flourish in all types of environments. From barren wastes to lush forests.
When they said barren wastes, they should have just shown a picture of Birmingham, I think.
Creatures since the dawn of life itself. Only until very recently, things have changed. New life forms have appeared all around the globe. What we know about evolution itself. That is why we, at National Living Meat Research, have been studying these new species, trying to help educate everyone about these creatures and their wondrous ways of life. First, what are these new life forms? Since their explosive arrival across the globe in 1931, there has been much debate on what these newcomers are, and where they came from. Are they extraterrestrials coming to invade Earth? Or are they demons who come from hell to purge humanity? From what our scientists have discovered, no. The origins of these creatures are solely to Earth, miraculously out of nowhere. We don't know why or how, but one thing is for certain, Earth is now their home.
So there's like been ETs that have came from, well, they don't even know if it's from space. There's loads of them. They've exploded in population, but they don't know how they're reaching Earth. It might be from underground then. You know, with like Gemini home catalog, home entertainment. There was some like aliens or like an infection and it was coming from underneath the ground.
What these creatures are is mysterious and still not well known today. But here is what we do know. These creatures are comprised mainly of muscle tissue, organs, and bones. They greatly resemble animals with no skin, or store-bought meat. Because of these characteristics, they have been named accordingly as Vita Carnis.
Made of muscles, organs, and bones, greatly resemble mammals without skin or raw meat. They consume organic material, mainly flesh or other animals. Non-Carnis.
The Carnis only appear in places where there is an abundance of crawl, which
so they're basically just animals without skin on them.
Leads to the first creature of the Carnis species, the crawl. The crawl is a growth of meaty tendrils that closely resemble the small intestine, the only difference being the dark red coloration. These tendrils grow in a similar pattern as vines, mold.
It looks like the areoli. Is it areoli in the lungs? I'm gonna spell this wrong. Am I on about the vagina? Oh fuck, that's the nipple. Fuck, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I meant the bronchioles, not the areoli. Fuck. No, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to show the bronchioles. How did I get that mixed up, man? I was good at biology. Oh my god. It looks like these anyway. The bronchioles. Fuck.
Coloration. These tendrils grow in a similar pattern as vines, mold, or fungi. A primary stem structure is the host to divisions of other, smaller...
I am not even doing this for like clickbaiting. I did not... I for some reason thought that areoli was to do with the lungs.
Contains a variety of veins, arteries, and other similar organs used to transport nutrients absorbed from its surroundings. The ends of these tendrils are equipped with organelles used to absorb water and organic matter necessary for growth. The source of these organic materials is mainly found in dirt and soil on surrounding surfaces. Using its root-like tendrils, it absorbs the material and processes it into usable energy. Although, the crawl also obtains energy through another means. Using a sophisticated form of photosynthesis, the dark pigmentation of the smaller branches is ideal for absorbing sunlight, and therefore allowing solar energy to fuel the crawl's growth. Because of its efficiency, it thrives in almost all types of environments, easily allowing it to spread across the world, and can be found pretty much anywhere. Its recent inclusion in the ecosystem has caused many major changes in nature's balance. One may assume that the crawl's presence may outcompete any other competitors, but due to its unique life cycle, where old branches fall off and decay into nutrient-rich compost, all forms of life seemingly flourish instead.
I can't imagine that's good though, because it's probably infecting whatever, when it turns into compost, whatever it feeds, it probably infects. It reminds me a bit like cordyceps as well in The Last of Us. I actually played The Last of Us recently, and a lot of the cordyceps would kind of spread around like that, like vines everywhere.
Changes in nature's balance. One may assume that the crawl's presence may outcompete any other competitors, but due to its unique life cycle, where old branches fall off and decay into nutrient-rich compost, all forms of life seemingly flourish instead. The crawl's abundance grants plenty of nourishment to all animals, from plants feeding on the decayed crawl, herbivores thriving on increased plant population, and carnivores feeding on both the abundant prey, and are able to eat the crawl as well. The presence of all these animals leave behind waste, which will be broken down and consumed by the crawl, and the cycle begins again. This form of symbiosis leads to an environment where all populations thrive. Humanity also uses the crawl to our advantage. Because of the supernatural rate of growth and its richness in nutrients, it is...
Wait, was there a little spooky that appeared for a second? Oh yeah, there you go. Radio tower overgrown with crawl. Yeah, you can't read the text.
And its richness in nutrients, it has been sustainably cultivated into domestic farms. The crawl is harvested and processed into fertilizer, which greatly increases crop yield and quality. The crawl may also be used as a food source for humans, and reliably so. But due to its unkindly appearance and taste, it has yet to reach cuisine standards. The crawl also plays a very important role in the next creatures that we have been studying. Sometimes, in a crawl-populated environment, a node of meat may develop, fall off and grow into a functioning organism, and go to live on as an independent animal. This leads us to the upcoming species that we will be discussing. The first of these creatures are the trimmings. The trimmings. Trimmings are small animals that resemble skinned raccoons. They are commonly known to have a plump body, round head, small eyes, nose and ear holes, and an agape mouth. They are also equipped with a diversity of limbs. All individual trimmings are unique, each with a different body shape, number of limbs.
They look like little head crabs. Actually, no, they don't. No, they don't. They actually look terrifying. We'll say trimming anatomy, 77% muscle and fat. Large majority of body is flesh.
Animals that resemble skinned raccoons. They are commonly known to have a plump body, round head, small eyes, nose and ear holes, and an agape mouth. They are also equipped with a diversity of limbs. All individual trimmings are unique, each with a different body shape, number of limbs, and other characteristics. One thing they all share in common is that they are made mostly of meat tissue, and are a maximum of 20 centimeters in length, no larger than a basketball. Its life starts with its separation from the crawl. It will wonder to find anything that is edible and able to consume.
Apple.
Although it is an omnivore, being able to hunt meat and forage for plant matter, trimmings are almost entirely scavengers. Their diet consists of rotting plants and meat, including, but not limited to, fruits, vegetables, roots, seeds, insects, and deceased animals. Although its appearance is unsightly, it is
That is horrible. Look at that. Dude, it's like me when I'm hungover. That's horrible. Look at that thing.
a cowardly creature, only fleeing, screeching, and hiding when threatened.
They flee and screech when threatened. They just sound like the mandrake from Harry Potter. You know those plants that you'd pull up and they just scream?
Because of its lack of defensive traits, it lies near the bottom of the food chain, making it easily overpowered and picked off very regularly.
Damn, they really put the trimming below a rabbit. They really were saying how weak that thing is.
By predators. Naturally, its population would eventually die out. This is not the case.
Oh, there's another secret. Hang on, another secret. Mass trimming infestation. Estimated 400 plus trimmings gathered under a large abandoned satellite dish. Right, so that's interesting. So the first report talked about there being growth on a radio tower, and now there was trimmings gathering under a satellite dish. So maybe they're trying to like communicate or something?
The case. The crow constantly produces a large quantity of trimming nodes, keeping up their numbers. Naturally, trimmings can be found wherever there is abundant crawl. Trimmings grow at a decent pace, reaching maturity at around 7 months, having a maximum lifespan of 2 to 4 years. Although they are plentiful, humanity has no proper way to implement trimmings into society. Their overabundance has even considered them pests, due to them digging through trash bins and making excessive noise at night.
Dude, he just looks so unhappy. He looks like the crying emoji if he's a person.
Besides all of this, some people still keep trimmings as pets and
Oh, he's like a little dog. Look at him. Look at this little fella.
relatively domesticate them. Nuisance or not, trimmings are a wondrous creature. From their plentiful numbers to their skittish nature, they are truly a thing to behold. The next species on our...
Okay, so there is a video on here, and I think it was called How to Take Care of Your Trimming. I want to see that.
Many people get pets for companionship. They form bonds and grow relationships with these animals, even to the point of them being considered a part of the family.
Dog.
Most people get dogs or cats, but maybe you want something more interesting. Then, you may want to get yourself a trimming.
Oh my
These lumps
god.
of meat have grown a reputation to
Dude,
be
that's an actual puppet. I've never seen that before in like analog horror. Damn. That's like an actual puppet. That's really cool. It's usually just like art and stuff. Like even in Gemini, it was all art. But that's like an actual puppet he made.
to be a loving companion for many
It's real.
people in the recent months.
The One Piece is real.
Although most people may not know the proper ways to care for them. Today, we will be showing you how you can care for your pet trimming.
It just looks like a staffy. You know, like a staffy. What are they called? Pitbull? Yeah. It just looks like a pitbull. Pitbull dog. Waiting to devour a toddler.
Care of a trimming is fairly easy, but this is no reason to slack off. They are living things and do
He just looks like the sob emoji. You know the sob emoji, like with the eyes closed and he's crying?
require maintenance. The first thing to keep in mind when keeping a trimming is the temperature of
Pitbull named Cupcake.
your home. While trimmings are resilient to both high and low conditions, you want to keep your base temperature near room temp, maybe slightly cooler. That being said, trimmings prefer warmer areas to nest. A simple setup you may use is a box with some blankets on the inside. Make sure
Fucking
there
get
is
in
enough
there.
for your trimming to cover itself.
Trimming.
And now, you have a comfy
Okay.
bed for your
Okay, that's kind of cute. That is actually me going to bed every night.
Nighty nighty. Ah, mamma mia.
That is how I sleep every night, knowing that I chose to upload slop onto Paralife. Read the comments. I work in a vet clinic, and one thing not mentioned in this video, so you should never use harsh soaps on a trimming. I've seen way too many of these guys come in crying in pain because of the bad condition their skin is due to the strong antibacterial soaps people use. If you've ever heard the sound, it will haunt you forever. If in doubt, please find a veterinarian-approved trimming soap. We are learning about these guys and cannot... Why is everyone laughing in the comments? Just everyone laughing? Why do we have hands? To pat the trimming, to hold the trimming, cherish the trimming, forfeit all mortal possessions of the trimming.
trimmings are not picky eaters and will eat anything you give them. To keep your trimming healthy and strong, you give them.
Called the trimming Angelica. That is actually a name for like a male pit bull.
To keep your trimming healthy and strong, a diet of dry cat or dog food that is high in protein, provided 2 times a day, is best. As a
Just seeing the trimming eat here, seeing the trimming, it just reminds me of this video. Look at that mouthful he went for. Bye bye. Bye bye.
protein, provided 2 times a day, is best. As a treat, you may give your trimming any scraps of your food. Things like apple cores, banana peels, or eggshells are a perfect snack.
My tax documents.
A thing to remember is trimmings are nocturnal and make plenty of noise.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
To prevent you from having sleepless nights, try to give your trimmings first meal in the late morning or afternoon.
I like how the way that this Darien guy who's made this is trying to instill horror is like trying to remind people that having a child exists.
This helps them be active during these times instead.
Wait, what was the thing? 9:30 to 11:30.
Another thing to consider if you want a pet trimming is where they will be living. Your home should have enough space for your trimming to roam around, as well as access to the outdoors, like a backyard. When it comes to entertainment, trimmings are not the most active and aren't the best at fetch or tug of war.
Just
But there
no,
are
just no
other ways
reaction.
to keep your trimming entertained. Some toys that trimmings like are little items they can push, around, pull, or carry. Trimmings also enjoy things that you enjoy as well, like watching the television or listening to the radio. They love seeing and listening to all the funny things coming from the devices. After a long day, your
Right, that's interesting again because they're talking about the trimming with like the radio, and we've literally seen how they want to try to get near radio waves to like interfere with them. Like you had trimmings under the satellite, and then you had the vines growing on a radio tower.
Your trimming might be dirty and need a wash. To clean them, start your bath with a gentle warm water, mixed with a bit of hand or body wash.
Bro, I got the jacuzzi.
Gently scrub the trimming's feet, armpits, belly, and neck fold.
Neck fold.
Remember to be careful around their face and avoid.
What the hell? Look, bro! What is this? He looks like Paulie from Sopranos. He looks like Paulie Walnuts. He actually looks like Paulie. You've got like a little bit of receding at the temples. That is insane. Oh my god.
Putting soap
That's
in their
hilarious.
eyes, nose, and mouth. Gently pat dry with a towel when done. Now your buddy is all clean.
Mashallah.
And lastly, as said before, trimmings are social creatures, so be sure to give them plenty of affection. Love receiving pats, scratches, and pets. They also love to sit with you and cuddle. Since they communicate with each other in the wild, it is best to replicate this behavior with them as well. Simply talking to them is plenty enough.
Talking to them.
You can talk about your day, if anything interesting happened at work, if you are working on any new recipes, or talk about the weather. Trimmings are very good listeners and love to be involved.
Good listeners. Looks like a mole rat from Fallout.
With all of these in mind, you are now well equipped to have a trimming become a part of the family. Do things right, and you will have a companion for a long while.
Damn. That's like a dog's life. It's like a dog's lifespan. Oh, what was that at the end? The end of the 8 pages. One day, the prince awoke suddenly. Thanks to the critter's assistance, the healing process had finished very quickly. The prince had fully recovered and was now fully awake and aware of their surroundings. Surprised by the sudden awakening, the critters ducked and hid from the prince's sight. I'm not sure what that is. I'm assuming that's meant to be the trimmings. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. All right, let's go back to the...
Our list is the meat snake. The meat snake The meat snake is a worm-like creature, made of a variety of types of meat, coated in a transparent, skin-like membrane.
Transparent coating that acts as the brain and nervous system, holds the body together, and contains the preserving fluids to keep the meat or gums from decaying.
Its size varies during its lifespan, depending on how much it consumes. When it first separates from the crawl, it is only a few centimeters in length. Eventually, it will reach an average length of 5 meters. Although, under extreme conditions, like natural disasters, war, or plague, it can greatly surpass this length.
Oh, there's another one there. Hang on. What did it say? Tell me! Largest meat snake ever discovered. Haha, my schlong. Haha. During a sweep of underground settlements made during a war, a massive-sized meat snake was discovered stuck inside an underground railway. The beast was measured a total of 40 meters in length. It's believed that bodies gathered during the war were fed to the creature, causing it to reach the unbelievable size. What does it say there? Cult activity? Yes, it says cult activity. Okay.
Please surpass this length. The meat snake's diet consists entirely of dead animals or parts. A meat snake is incapable of consuming a healthy, living organism. The meat snake allocates its food by using a...
Oh, so they're like the trimmings. They only eat like remains. So they don't just go around like eating a horse or something. So that kind of... Okay. So they're not like that scary. The meat snake's tongue shares great resemblance to reptilian snake tongues, being able to feel their environment and collect particles.
Tongue-like organ covered in sensors to touch and feel its environment. The sensors catch particles of decaying meat, notifying the meat snake that there is food nearby. This process shares many similarities to regular snakes, hence the meat snake's name. Once it locates the corpse, the meat snake will open its jaw and swallow the entire body whole. Once the entire body is consumed, the meat snake's stomach will release a variety of chemicals. Some will break down soft tissue like skin, and the connection points between muscles. Others chemicals will then ferment and preserve the tissue to keep it from breaking down for as long as possible. After
I like how everyone that's saying Vor in chat has a furry profile picture.
that, the remaining flesh and bones will move along the meat snake's tract, and slowly be implemented into its own structure, extending the meat snake. Unsatisfactory parts like skulls, pelvises, hair, and fingernails will be excreted. Speaking of skulls, the meat snake will take the skull from the consumed organism and use it as its own. Each meat snake has its own skull, each corresponding to what that one has consumed.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, so that one is like... That's like a bird, right? That's a rhino, and that's a human. So it will change its face.
During its lifespan, it will swap or replace these skulls if needed. A meat snake's lifespan depends entirely on how much a meat snake consumes. The longest one has lived for was 28 years.
Damn.
The
Dude, meat snake is older than me. What the hell?
snake has no predators and is immune to disease due to its preserving chemicals. The only significant ways a meat snake can die
So meat snake can't get AIDS. There's no such thing as meat snake AIDS.
is through starvation, burning, or complete destruction of the meat snake's membrane coating. Interestingly, the meat snake is the only member of the Carnis family that is able to reproduce. When a meat snake reaches an excessive size, and is in the conditions to do so, it will commence mitosis, splitting itself in two. Then the now two meat snakes will go on their separate ways and live on as two distinct organisms.
So they can split up through mitosis, right? Some animals can do that. Like I think worms can do that or something. Does that mean that two meat snakes can also have mitosis and then split off as well? So can they keep duplicating, or can it only be two? There needs to be one meat snake and they become two and then they can't do it again.
Snakes can only be found in moderate temperature climates.
The areola can too. Fuck off.
Not too hot, not too cold. They're
Damn. Dude, how is Canada more safe than like Siberia? Also, look at that. Look at that. They don't want to touch Ireland. Fucking Ireland. Look at that. They don't want to touch Ireland, man. They're all over the UK. They don't want to touch Scotland. They don't want to touch Ireland. I do not blame them. I do not blame them.
Their population depends entirely on the amount of corpses available. Where there is death, there are meat snakes. Humanity will use them to our advantage. Meat snakes are a very efficient and clean way of disposing of any meat products. Then the meat snake's body disinfects the carrion, preventing the spread of disease. Humans use meat snakes in butcher shops as a waste bin, dispose roadkill, within war on the battlefield to dispose of festering bodies and parts, and within zoos to dispose of deceased animals. They are extremely tame, not caring if any creature is around them, only acting defensively when it is within consuming a meal.
OMG chat,
means
this
they are
video
very
is so
easy to
strange that I did a misinput inside my pants.
tame. Overall, meat snakes are a marvelous creature with a very interesting way of sustaining itself. It is an amazing experience to encounter one, as long as you don't mind the smell. Our next creature is the mimic.
I'm sorry, but this guy's saying that, like, you know, it's amazing seeing these animals eat like dead things. It's a little bit weird, bro. I think this guy likes Vor a bit too much.
The mimic.
Ah, you thought you could escape me, eh? Eh? Let me see this. After being stranded at sea, the young prince eventually was cast to an island injured. The prince stumbled his way into a nearby cave. The prince used what magic he could to put himself into a healing sleep. Or is that set before he woke up? I'm not sure what this character is though. But there was a reference in one of the newspaper articles to a cult. So maybe that's what it's referring to?
The mimic.
You missed 2 pages, did I?
On planet Earth.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I see it. I can't fucking read that. Nice one, chat. I can't fucking read that, can I? Okay, wait, no, I can't read it. Okay, anyways. What? No, that is so hard to read. Is that really all we've got? Jesus. Okay. Once upon a time, in a distant kingdom, there was... I can't read that. Prince and a royal family that were immortal. I can't read any of that, bro. That's so low quality. Can I not? There's like a chromatic aberration shit that's I can't see. Land and sea to discover new places and learn what it's this part here. I can't read any of that. That's just a blur. Full-time streamer. I'm sorry, bro. Can you read it? Did you pay attention to how it specifically mentioned in the meat snake part how nails, hair, bones, and skulls will be removed? Only human parts. Let me try meat snake. During the travels on one of their, I guess that says expeditions, a great storm struck. It was so powerful it swayed the boat and royal family and pushed the prince out and into the sea. Okay.
The mimic is a bipedal creature with uncanny similarities to human.
Coating of durable membrane while morphing. Slightly taller than the average human. 7 foot tall.
Anatomy. They greatly resemble humans without skin, with added exaggerated features. These features include extended finger length, longer limbs, bulging, empty eyes, and their most prominent feature, a wide, teeth-filled smile.
He's soy-facing.
Although it resembles a happy face, this is due to coincidence, and is only how their facial structure is shaped. The maw of the mimic contains much more teeth than humans, and their teeth is comprised almost entirely of incisors, with some canine and premolars in the back. This tooth composition is ideal for biting down onto meat and swallowing chunks.
It's a Wojak.
A mature mimic's diet is comprised entirely of human flesh.
Oh. Yeah, that's not good. He's built a bit like XQC though, right?
Because of this, they are found solely around human-populated areas.
Okay, so apparently there's no mimics in LA, in California. I don't blame them. I genuinely don't blame them. I really don't.
The mimic's life cycle is made of 3 stages. In the first stage, a young mimic separates from the crawl. They closely resemble their trimming relatives, but are thin, sleek, and only have 4 appendages.
Alright, so trimmings don't become mimics. They're completely different.
In this stage, the young mimic will hunt small animals, moving on to larger and larger as they grow. Once large enough, it will begin metamorphosis into the next stage of life. Once fully transformed, it will resemble the description mentioned in the beginning. Its hunting style changes and becomes...
Mimic locked inside home after owner escaped.
It now stalks and feeds only on humans. It will locate human...
Oh wait, was that something there? Hang on. Oh no, that was just a comparison. Yeah, it's just a comparison.
It will locate human populated area and begin its search for an easy target. To blend in, it may use objects to conceal itself. These include clothing, mannequins, and furniture.
Okay, so it can wear clothes? Bro, is this prop hunt? It just turns into a chair?
Once a target has been found, the mimic will observe its prey and learn its routine and when it is most vulnerable. This is typically when the human is
Okay, I don't know about you guys. This is how I sleep. That is actually, I just levitate a couple of inches off the bed.
asleep at night. Once the prey is within position, the mimic will advance silently until it is close enough. The mimic will then execute and immediately begin consumption. Once the mimic has had its fill, it will leave the scene. A fair
Dude, he turned him into a white guy. What the hell is that? Bro actually switched teams. What the fuck?
the scene, a fair distance away from the human population, and begin to digest its meal.
Stationary mimic found outside of a town, presumably digesting last night's meal.
Although, in the case that a human is awake, a mimic will use a variety of sounds to either lure or...
Fuck! Ah! Okay, that one got me. That one got me. That one got me. Can we stop doing this? Mandela did it. Mandela Catalog did it last video. They do a door knock sound effect, and now this one did as well. Stop doing that, man. Stop it. Fuck off. My door isn't even, like, near me as well. It doesn't make sense how it scares me. He's saying clutch or kick here in the speech bubble.
Once a human is in place, it will swiftly attack and kill the helpless target.
You gotta hide. He's gonna say racial slurs. Don't hide. He's gonna turn you into a white person. No. Let him in. Let the poor fella in. Bro, just observing door hinges. Oh, he walking in. Door stuck. Door stuck. Jump scare? Jump scare? Oh. Dude, is that a puppet? That is so cool. That is so cool. That is scary. That's so cool. Holy shit. Damn. Okay, the fact that they use actual puppets for this is really fucking cool. I thought that was like like a in Blender or something, right? But that's an actual puppet that he made. Dude, he's so... Look how happy that little fella is. POV, you are my cat.
The next stage of the mimic's life cycle has two potential morphs it may develop into. If a mimic has a consistent supply of food, it will develop more human-like features. It will grow skin, hair, and by the end will look nearly identical to a human being.
He will also install 6 Siege and become incredibly racist.
It now can blend entirely into civilization and lure other humans more effectively.
Damn.
The second type of morph happens when a mimic receives an overabundance of food. It will grow into a larger, more evolved hunter. Its proportions will increase in length, and its humanoid features will fade away.
I like how he just puts on 0 weight as well. Teeth line out of the back of the throat. Oh, damn.
It grows a thick, dark coating of a flexible skin. This excludes the face, which is now coated in a pale pink skin. The mimic's teeth have also moved deeper into the mimic's throat, leaving its mouth a toothless grin. It uses the dark hue of its skin to hide seamlessly within a dark environment. Its skills have also been heightened. This makes an elder mimic.
So when I let my dog out to piss at 3 in the morning, this is probably what he sees when I'm just waiting for him inside my house with all the lights off.
The dark hue of its skin to hide seamlessly within a dark environment. Its skills have also been heightened. This makes an elder mimic one of the most efficient predators on the planet.
An elder mimic.
Because of the obvious threat this poses on humanity, nations around the world have released instructions on how to be able to fend for yourself in a mimic encounter.
I don't understand why the governments wouldn't want to kill the growths, though. If the growths can spawn mimics, why not monitor the growths? Or, like, just wipe them out if they can. You know, just torch them. Like, they obviously want to take advantage of them, but there is no advantage from a meat mimic.
Instructions.
1. Avoid going out alone if your location is known to have mimics, or there have been mimic sightings. 2.
I mean, that's just what you tell women anyway. It's like, don't go outside on your own. Like, that's not
1.
really good information. I remember there was an advert, I think it was for like Apple or something, and it was showing a woman running around in London at 3 in the morning, like out on a jog, and that advert got pulled because, like, you know, women actually found it offensive because they don't feel they can go outside and be and feel safe. It's insane.
He looks like the old guy that plays with me at night.
What?
You're my little boy, come back here.
Oh no, he is back. No, not again.
What was that, Dono? Bro wrote an entire story there with $10. He wrote a story. He wrote a story with an Act 1, an Act 2, and an Act 3. That is in... What the hell was that? I like how it was a USB plug-in noise as well. Okay, that was the best, Dono. Thank you, Anonymous, for the 10. That was best.
2. If you encounter a stationary mimic, seemingly unfazed by your presence, quietly leave the location and
I'm Anonymous. I'm stealing that, and I'm going to put that on my TikTok and my YouTube shorts. Thank you, man.
Your local authorities. 3. If pursued by a mimic, get yourself into a position where you are able to flee. Mimics will rarely attack if a person has a clear escape route. 4. In the event.
I feel that these government advisements are not very good. It's like, if you see a mimic, run. It's like, if you see a rapist, run away. This is like the equivalent of telling someone in a horror film, if you see a scream face or ghost face or whatever he's called, just run away, Lamau.
That you have been cornered by a mimic, roll into the fetal position, protecting your neck, face, and vital organs from attack. Make as much noise as you can to alert any other people. 5.
Honestly, the best way to protect yourself from a mimic, just boot up Overwatch 2 and say the most abhorrent shit you can imagine, because the fact that they record voice calls, they'll probably send the FBI over to your house and they'll kill the mimic, and then they'll probably kill you afterwards.
5. If you have a weapon, do not use it. A mimic is fairly resilient, and any strikes or shots on a mimic is not effective enough to bring it down in time. Instead, use it as a barrier between you and the mimic to block any attacks. 6. In a situation...
All of these are terrible. They're even saying that firearms are ineffective. Why would you even let the... What are they called? Not the trimmings. What are they called? The roots. The roots again. The crawl. That's right, the crawl. I feel they should just be burning the crawl everywhere, because it's like, you get some like use out of compost and stuff out of them, and then the only downside is you get meat people that stalk you at night and kill you.
Aware of your position, hide somewhere low, like under a bed or behind other furniture. A mimic will not linger too long to search for prey, and will move on.
Be safe, and avoid any encounters with a mimic at all costs. Stop. The Harvester.
Hang on. What we got? But the prince's sleep was long. He slept for what seemed like forever as he slept. The land around him changed and grew. It was unrecognizable from when the prince first arrived. But the sleep still needed time to heal the prince. Much more time. But it kept the prince safe while he rested, guarding him from the elements as the land changed. Ah, so it's probably like a fat time jump. Okay. Makes sense.
The Harvester is a large, bulbous mass with a large amount of tendrils spreading from the base. The bulb measures around 3 meters in height and 2 meters in diameter. The tendrils, on the other hand, can extend up to 150 meters in diameter horizontally. The Harvester is a specialized form of crawl that grows in a unique and deadly way. A harvester is created when a node that will grow into a harvester, instead of separating, continues to grow. Eventually, it will grow tendrils of its own. It uses the energy provided by its mother branch and expands its reach further. Its tendrils, hidden just below the surface of the ground. The harvester is equipped with 2 types of specialized tendrils. The first type is bulky and flat. They lie the closest to the surface. These branches are lined on each length of the tendril with spines, extending in the shape of a bear trap. On each side of the branch, those particular spines have...
I think it actually has teeth.
a vein that feed into them, that pump two types of venom. On one side, the spines can inject a neurotoxin, which will attack the nervous system of whomever it is injected into, causing sudden paralysis. The other side can inject an anticoagulant, which when injected, prevents blood cells from clotting.
That's what venom does, I think. That's why venom is like so dangerous. If you get bitten by a snake and it has venom in it, it actually coagulates your blood. Like it turns it into like a solid almost.
Whenever a large animal moves across the area armed with these tendrils, the branches will clamp onto the animal and thrash violently.
Damn.
Once the prey has been injected with both venoms, the tendrils will rest and the prey will immediately collapse. The animal will be unable to move due to the paralysis, and the wounds caused by the thrashing spines.
Thank you,
will not
Resolve,
stop
for joining.
bleeding. All the prey can do is lie patiently, until succumbing to blood loss. Once the prey has bled out, the second type of tendrils come in. They lie below the spine equipped once. These branches are thick, but very sturdy. They share similar anatomy to the small branches of the crawl, equipped with organelle that absorbs nutrients.
They whitewash the deer. No!
These tendrils sense the blood, and move their way to the surface and begin to absorb the vital fluid. Once the blood has been consumed, the tendrils will wrap around the body and begin to shuffle downwards. This movement loosens the soil and slowly pull the body underground.
Damn.
Once secure, the tendrils will continue to feed until there is nothing but scraps. The nourishment absorbed by the tendrils will be sucked back into the main bulb of the harvester. This bulb houses all the vital organs and the venom glands that pump into the spines. The nutrients are then converted into usable energy. The remains underground decompose, providing a rich soil, causing very prominent plant growth, which then attracts more animals. A strange...
So it's literally just a bait, because it will kill an animal, use its body as compost to bait more animals.
The spines will only activate on larger animals, allowing smaller ones to pass by unaffected. The spines will also not activate on some species of bird. There are a couple theories as to why this happens. One, it could be that attacking smaller animals would cost too much energy for what they get in return, making it not worth the time. Another could be that smaller animals may attract larger animals or predators, allowing a safe place where prey may thrive and lure more predators. It truly is astonishing. Although it is a spectacular creature, it is also very dangerous. The harvester is decently rare in the northern hemisphere and woodland forests. If you are stung by a harvester, there will be no way of helping you, being that there is no cure, and fatality is 100% positive.
That's helpful. Appreciate it, man. Family attacked by harvester while hiking. Authorities refused to handle the harvester. Authorities really said, nah, they fell off.
The best thing you can do is avoid encountering a harvester in the first place. If you are hiking...
Okay, so, all right. Let me get this straight. Okay. So, all the tutorials are basically saying avoid it from happening in the first place so you don't get attacked. Okay, you know what? You go outside the house, you go hiking, you encounter a harvester. How do you avoid that? You don't leave the house. You don't go outside, and then a fucking meat mimic will break into your home and then corner you anyway. Just end it. Like, there is nothing else to do. You literally camp inside, like 6 Siege. You get one-tapped. You go outside, you get one-tapped.
Take note of any warnings or signs saying that there are harvesters around. If you also notice an abundance of lush, ground-dwelling plants in a forested area, and
skill issue, real.
There are no signs of wildlife. This is suspicious and you should leave the area, staying close to the base of large trees or rocks. If you find yourself in the middle of a harvester ground, do not panic. Sudden movements may activate the tendrils and will inject you. Although a harvester is rather forgiving, do not risk any skittish movements. Remain calm. If you have any objects with considerable heft, like coats, backpacks, or full water bottles, gently take that object and lightly toss it towards the bulb, and away from your escape route. This will activate the spines on where the object lands, distracting the bulb for a moment. You will then slowly begin to do wide shuffles away from the bulb.
Wide shuffles. So the government advised technique to escape one of these things, they really said do this. They said do this, bro. They said do this away from the bulb. Actual, like, that was a PSA from the government, and they said do like a TF2 spy crab walk away from this thing.
Possible. Throw another object when you are certain you are a fair enough distance away, just to be safe. Continue until you are completely sure you are out of harm's way. You may come out unscathed, but don't be too obnoxious, or you will be a harvester's next meal. Next up is the host.
Bro, we are halfway through. We are just over halfway through. How is it going to get worse than that? There's still 2 more. Jesus. Oh, what's this one? During a time of hardship, the island critters, the critters were struggling. There was barely any food to go around. They would go and gather whatever they... I can't really read that. Whatever they could find.
The host of influence. The host of influence, more commonly referred to as the host, has its name derived from a host who invites guests to an event. Not to be confused with a host, a harborer of parasites or disease. The host is a semi-humanoid looking organism. It has the structure of a head, torso, and arms. Other than this, it shares no other characteristics.
Everyone in chat is just saying this is the YouTuber.
The lower half of the host is comprised of a mass of fibrous tissue and tendrils that burrow into the ground to hold the host in place. Instead of skin, the host is covered in muscular tissue fibers, tendons, and veins. In some parts of the body are covered in a meaty plate, used to cover any large exposed areas, but allowing movement. The host's head has a smooth surface where the face should be. On the host's back is a mound of pores. Protruding from these pores are hollow, hair-like structures, extending outwards. These hairs are barrels that release spores produced within host's body by being fired into the air. These spores are hazardous, so keep clear of them at all costs.
Oh, spooky flash! Spooky flash! Ah, so that looks like it's part of that cult that was mentioned in the newspaper, right? I'm not sure what the other thing was. That looks like a sewer entrance with something in there.
Luckily, the host is rare, only found in North America.
Thank God. Okay. Thank God. Bro, you can keep that. You can keep that. The only problem we've got is the mimics. It's only in America? Unlucky. Oh, no. Oh, no. Look at that. Look at that. They're in California as well. No. We should just put them all in California and just leave them there. We can put them all in California and then call them influencers.
Obtaining info about the host is a very risky and daunting task. This is because of their rarity and of how dangerous it is to be up close to one.
What the fuck is bro doing? Like, he bought a Polaroid. What is bro doing? Like he's gonna take a picture of one of these things, then wait like 2 minutes for it to develop.
The spores released by a host is very dangerous when inhaled. A host will release a cloud of spores into the air, which will be picked up by wind and carried great distances. If an organism inhales the spores, the particles will find their way into the organism's brain and infect them. An infected organism will show no symptoms of infection right away, but a couple hours after infection the infected organism's behavior and thought process will change. The first symptoms that appear are restlessness, sluggish movement, numbness of joints, and lack of coordination.
Literally any streamer right there. That is the list, the checklist of 4.
Then more serious symptoms appear over time. These include dizziness, migraines, impaired speech, and trembles. If you, or someone you know show these symptoms, contact poison control or emergency services. After a total of 6 to 7 hours after infection, the organism will cease all activities they were previously doing and begin to walk.
Fucking hell, that actually... What? That actually scared me so much, I panic pressed the spacebar. Oh my god, it did not need to be that loud.
The direction the infected will walk is towards the host whose spores have been inhaled by the infected individual. If the infected makes their way to the host, they will kneel down in front of it, expose their vital organs, and the host...
This is me. This is you give me $10. This is you give me $10.
will promptly gut and remove those organs. The host will consume them and discard the leftover scraps.
Dude, this guy's like in Romania. Like, he just stole all of his organs and just left him.
The host will consume them and discard the leftover scraps. However, if an infected organism doesn't reach the host within a 36-hour span or is treated for their infection, the effects will wear off and return back to normal. If a host is unable to find prey or doesn't like its current location, it will unroot itself and move to a new location. Their scarce numbers and the hazard of being around one makes getting info about the host very daunting. All you need to currently know is that the host is extremely dangerous and should be avoided at all costs. Next, the monoliths.
There's one more. How are these getting worse? Okay, one I can actually read, finally, thank God. Although one day, the critters found the cave while searching for food. They found the prince in trance in his healing sleep. The critters were so awestruck and enchanted by the prince's magic.
The monoliths. The monolith is a very new creature, only showing up in June of 1972.
Where?
In the area of...
Okay, I think I'm gonna get tinnitus if I keep watching this video. That was way too loud. That did not need to be that loud.
There are only 7 monoliths, all of them located in
that was in Canada though. That was in Canada.
Circular position, 1.5 kilometers in diameter. This ring of monoliths surround...
Stop! Stop!
The monolith is a Titanic-sized being, measuring roughly 120 meters in height. Each monolith has 2 trunk legs that are firmly embedded underground. The legs connect to a torso. The creature itself is made of hundreds of thousands of meaty strands, tightly woven together to form the structure. These strands end at the neck, fusing into a solid mass of hardened flesh in the shape of an upside-down triangle, with a hole in its center.
It has an EMP pulse that can disable electronics.
On each side of the monolith where arms would be, there are dozens of long, rope-like appendages. These reach just barely to the ground. At the creature's feet, the strands go deep into the earth and extend horizontally a decent distance away. What the monoliths do is simply stand and do nothing. The only activity documented that the monoliths have done was in...
Oh my God, please. I like this series, I really do, but there needs to be some kind of audio mixing, because that censor bleep is fucking unbearable.
This period, they were extremely aggressive. When the group of...
Okay. This is like iDubbbz and that Pisces guy saying the N-word. Like, I'm gonna have to censor this like every 5 seconds.
Were making
oh my God, is this parody? Please stop. Please stop.
The monolith that they had passes roared a deep bellow and swung its appendages at the team, completely wiping them out. When military vehicles were dispatched, once they got close enough to top the monolith, it roared another call, this time releasing an EMP blast, completely knocking the vehicles out in the vicinity. Finally, long-distance rockets were fired and struck the creature.
Damn. Actually nukes them.
Although damaged, it regenerated at great speed, and resumed its stance unscathed. Eventually, the area has been fenced off and is now restricted to all.
It's like, we tried to kill these things with a missile, it didn't work. We're gonna put a little fence up now, a little fence. A little 9-foot tall fence. That'll keep them contained.
The monoliths stand silently. Now only a grand spectacle of awe and mystery, only adding more questions to these meat beings. And finally, the last creature on this list is...
Can I read this? Jesus Christ, they are not making this easy to read. Who is this creature? Why were they here? Are they dangerous? A thought was thought? What if this creature could use magic to help them? It may grow food or heal sickness. They continue to argue about the prince and his magic. Oh, right. So I think the kind of lore is here, like there was some prince or something, and then they used the magic abilities that he had, and I think they kind of like corrupted it a bit, I think.
The Singularity is an orb comprised of a dark-colored mineral with
about the Singularity is hidden or confiscated by officials. We were only able to receive one classified document about the Singularity being held by... marvelous and majestic world that exists today. It's as extraordinary.
So there's obviously a lot of ideas going on here, which is kind of cool. You've obviously got like the body horror with the trimmings and the meat snakes and the mimics, but then it gets a little bit more like extraterrestrial, a little bit like what's it called, with the Cthulhu kind of shit. But yeah, that gave me Stalker vibes a little bit as well. Jesus Marie, they're minerals.
Extraordinary to have such strange and mysterious beings appear all around us. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and discovery of the lives of these living meat creatures.
Eldritch, that's right. No, I like that. I think yeah, I like that. I just think that audio was kind of like fucking me up near the end. Let's see meat snake archive footage.
In the year of 1945, with the war finally ended, the cleanup process had started. During routine sweep of an underground train tunnel, the cleanup crew made a grotesque discovery. Found completely filling the tunnel was a meaty wall, and in the center of the mass was an opening with several skulls surrounding it. Closer inspection of the blockage revealed that the mass was actually an extremely engorged meat snake. Its impeccable size had blocked off the entirety of the tunnel's path. There was many strange things with this creature. First was the coloration. A typical meat snake's color is bright reds and light browns. This particular meat snake was a very deep maroon. Another strange thing about it was its behavior. This creature barely moved. Meat snakes are normally sluggish and encumbersome, but the specimen discovered seemed to lack even basic motor functions.
It's like turn the skull into its teeth. Also, someone in chat said wood. Real.
Its behavior was that of a plant's. Stationary, with only minor movements within. One would assume it was dead. The reason the meat snake may act this way may be because it was completely lodged in place and minimized movements to conserve energy. But how would it have gotten this deep into the tunnel in the first place? And by the looks of weathering, it had been in there for quite some time. So how did it get so large? The answer...
He ate Taco Bell. That's the only...
After all this years without touching grass, he finally found a reason to stay home and interact with anyone. Wait, what? He is still getting paid for it. Okay, I have to fix it.
Hey Shappy, I'm on it already.
Fuck off. Thank
My
you.
rafflecopter goes was.
My rafflecopter goes UNG, we are shot by lasers. Pew pew boom.
answer was discovered by a different cleaning crew, who found the other end of the tunnel. They followed it until it met with the other end of the meat snake. Alongside it was a huge pile of
Oh, what was that? Was that a pile of corpses? Pile of corpses? Yummy. Look at all them skeletons. Yummy.
This meat snake's skin also displayed great amounts of resilience.
Dude, he's got pecs though. What the hell? Bro has a better chest than me. What the hell? He's got pecs, man. Why is he shredded? That's not fair, man.
It took several days of cutting to even obtain a sample. Here, you can see the clear difference between this meat snake specimen versus a normal meat snake's membrane. Testing on the sample showed that it had great immunity to damage. It tolerated extreme freezing temperatures, extreme heat temperatures, and even high doses of radiation. It is a wonder how such durability can occur in an organic creature. Another strange phenomenon.
He was bulking.
is the smell off the skin.
He's bulking.
Normally, it would have a sour smell of rotting flesh. But the specimen displayed a rather pleasant smell, like that of cooking scrambled eggs. Meat snake was later
Scrambled
discovered
eggs.
by
Okay.
unknown survivors. How the meat snake grew in size was discovered to be.
The cut is actually going to be insane. That was another bit of the thing then. Hang on. One of the critters built up the courage to meet the now awake stranger. They crawled to the prince's side and extended their hand in friendship. The prince reached back, and together they had formed the bonds that would change their fate. Okay.